Well, good morning, campers. I think it's the 5th of October. It's 9:50. I got some bits to do, bits and pieces. So I need to go out to the van and do what I got to do. Well, we got this far. How warm it is in here this morning. 12.3. Well, it says it's 10.8 inside and 12.3 outside, so it must be because of the sun. Well, I've got a plug, what do they call them? Plug that ain't working, so I'm taking it all apart to have a look. Well, I started to move it because I need to get all this out, because I need to get under there. But I mean, me thing, you know, it's all stacked everywhere. But we'll see how we go. Well, we're nearly in, we've stripped it all out. And it's that one there. It's down behind there though. I'll see if we got any wire on. Either that or it's a fuse. I start using those, you can't see it, plug. I use those fuses for my LEDs. The ones that you just press back in and they reset. Well, I stuck that pan on for a tester and I looked in their side and the red light come on. Can you see the red light that's on now? There, that shows the fuse is missing. So I need to go in and find some fuses. Well, that long wire up the top left here, I think is too thin. So what I've done is I've made myself up another little loom with it all a bit thicker. Well, that's all done. We've heat shrunk it all on, so it should be good. We don't need to do it that end because, well, we don't. It's just this bit. This is a bit that's going to move. Well, that's the minus and the plus wired up. Well, as you can see, the bit's working. The wiring there. This piece here. This is just the other bit, and that red one hanging is the original bit. But it's clipped in. I haven't got no clippers, and so is that black bit. But I'll just unclip those two bits on the red there, take them out, and it'll be back tidy. Because when this is in, this will be up here under the seat, so you won't see it. But I don't like all this where they push it all back through the. They push it back through the panels in that. So you've got what you see there will be behind the panel, and it just looks nice from the front. But it's difficult to get hold of. But as you can see, it's a bit of a fucking mess in here at the moment. Everything here is upside down. Well, that's the cover back on. As you can see, it had 6 screws and one up there. But I never had any truck with that. And for instance, I got it, I changed it to 2. Then that one goes back in there. And then that's it covered up. Just needs cushions. That's the base cushion back on. And that's the back cushion back on. So that's the seat. You see how grubby it is up on that thing there. That's where when I'm cooking, I lean against it. Well, that's what it's like before the table goes back. Oh, and the other thing I put over my legs. Leg blanket goes when it's really cold. It goes over the bottom of the bed. And I've modified the table. So instead of the table going crossways, it comes long ways. Then I got another 3rd seat. Well, and that's what's all like back together again. As you can see, I swung the table, so I got a seat there. So instead of sitting sideways looking at the television on, I can sit straight on and put my feet up. And also, with the table the other way, I used to have it pushed back, so if anybody came in, they couldn't really get in here. Anyway, that's that all tidied up. We got the cigarette lighter socket working. And we've got my, whatever it is, Ecoflow, whatever it is, down there plugged in. So it's saying Oh, I don't know why that is. The cocoa is off. Well, you can turn this off, can you? Oh, as soon as I plugged it back in, it come back on again. Well, I realised I'll have to leave it unplugged. But anyway, there you go. That's my day's bit of work to do. I need to get in. I need to get down there on my what's it fucking called? I might do that tomorrow. What's it called? Maxi fan. Is it maxi fan? Maxi fan hatch. Maxi fan hole in the roof. Anyway, it's maxi fan. I got the light to go on it, but the way I've got that fan wired up, which isn't brilliant, one of those spare wires there, which hasn't got a fuse in it, goes to the back. But I wired it through my light box up there so that it won't come on unless the lights are switched on this end. Not switched on as in illuminated, but put in, made live. And then I wired it through there. Then I took another light, because I didn't want to leave them switched on. So about 8 or 10 years ago, I put a socket in there, you know, cigarette lighter, USB, whatever they used to use them days. But to make sure it went off, then I wired it through the light thing. Check the wires here. There's no fucking real power that goes through it, is there? But the only thing is, I cannot have my maxi fan on if I'm travelling, because it's just not connected. But then I do know, once I start the engine up, everything at the back switches off. That makes sense. But I got the light box to go around it, which I'm going to wire through to the other light, which I think I'll just use it as a spare, because I can't really say I need all that fucking light, you know. I mean, I got nothing worth looking at when I'm in the bed, especially in the trouser department. Yeah, and I've got the blind, but I've had it all through the summer without the fucking blind on it, and now the winter's coming, I'm going to put the blind on. But what made me think about that is I got black screws to go in it. I don't know why I got these black screws, but it's the only screws that I had, and I found the other two, because that's only held up with two. Anyway, piddly peeps, I'm going to get back to watching the telly. I've got the... No, I haven't. I tell you a lie. I had the kettle on. Well, the kettle will be on directly. Yeah. So, I'll speak to you later. Thank you for watching. What do you think of my little bit of editing at the front? I've never really edited anything, but I just thought I'd have a go. I might have to get it out and get my laptop working, but I'm not really too sure how I'm going to do that, or whether I'm going to fucking do it. But yeah, I might actually do all this table together and put one of those tables on and wiggle about. But I don't see what I'd really gain with that, apart from I'd lose a bit of weight, because this table's actually oak. Yeah, so anyway, I'll speak to you later. Stay classy, no fighting, love you all. Bye bye. Have a good evening, and you skins.